So far this year, I've been doing a lot of situational counter type defensive videos on the YouTube channel, but I haven't really thrown out a full defensive scheme that you guys can run against some of the most popular metas.
Oh, she's the one, Cole.
In today's video, I'm going to bring back an oldie but goodie. Please welcome back Clamp Double Go. What is up, guys? Dave from the Madden YouTube channel. In today's video, we are going to bring back the 3-4 solid, now known as the 3-4 Cub Clamp Double Go. Now, if you guys don't remember, the Clamp Double Go was a defense that I put out, I want to say in Madden 18, and this was an incredibly overpowered looping defense that gave the quarterback a lot of trouble, kept them in the pocket, and still looped around and got pressure on the quarterback. Now, we're not going to quite run it the exact same way as I did a few years back, but this is a very, very good defense. And I want to give a shout out to VA Dimes, who kind of jostled my memory on this type of blitzing scheme. He put out a video the other day that kind of reminded me of this defense, and I wanted to go ahead and go back to try to touch on it and see if I could spruce it up for Madden 22. And I was actually very, very pleasantly surprised at what I was able to find here. So let's go ahead and start off here with the 3-4 Cub, and I'm gonna run this against the gun bunch. Now, I know a lot of you are probably thinking, Zan, running 3-4 against a bunch set, that's a terrible idea. You're setting yourself up for failure. Just hold tight. I'm gonna explain why this is really not the case here momentarily. So I'm gonna choose gun bunch, Z-spot, and go. And we are going to go ahead and run the Clamp Double Go, and we're going to run this on auto flip. Now, the really cool thing about this particular defensive formation, the 3-4 Cub, is that it does have a match cover 6 in it. Now, the cover 6 or match quarters or palms or any of those match family style of plays, those to me are my favorite coverage combinations in Madden right now. And I just recently dropped my cover 4 match game plan where I broke down cover 4 quarters, palms, cover 6, cover 9, cover 6 invert, and all of the nuance, press versus off coverage rules, 2x2 versus 3x1, compression versus spread, empty looks, solo checks, special checks, cut coverages, all different types of rules that you guys can use to know exactly what your coverage is going to be doing. And you guys having this cover 6 in this particular formation is really, really useful to actually running this scheme as a whole, especially because you also have a cover 4 quarters, which really makes this a great defensive formation. So while this is a 3-4 defense, it also has some pretty incredible coverages that you can mix in and get some use out of some of the different quarters and palms rules in the cover 7 match coverage family that I've broken down on gridirongameplans.gg. Now on Gridiron, your membership also includes weekly vault updates where we focus on the meta, or the most effective tactics available being used by pro players on the MCS circuit, where we break down not only how and why those tactics work, but most importantly, how you can counteract those tactics when you face them in online gameplay. So let's go ahead and get into today's video and kind of explain why the Clamp Double Go is such a good defense. Now, my recommendation with this would be to run it on base align. You would actually set that coach setting, auto flip and base align. And what that's going to do is this is going to show a 2-high defense with your corners and off coverage. This is going to allow you to run cover 4 quarters, cover 6, and not really give any tells to your opponent. Now, I'm not going to be going into the cover 6 and the cover 4 quarters match rules against these particular formations here today, but I would strongly urge you to check those out on the website if you want to kind of complete this scheme around this blitz rather than just playing zone drops with it. But with this particular concept, I would actually recommend zone drops. And what we would do is spread our defensive line and pinch our linebackers. And this is going to create a really interesting front that kind of stacks the outside linebackers on the defensive end's hips, very, very similar to the 3-3-5 wide defensive meta that's so popular. So with this, what we would end up doing is shading our coverage underneath, and I would probably set my blue zones on this particular concept to be our deep zones. So I would set those to 25 or 30, and then you can mabel the coverage out on this side by putting this outside linebacker into a purple zone. Or you could go ahead and put this guy into a purple zone, and you could set those at 0 or 5 or whatever you want. And truthfully with this, you could also go ahead and put these guys in vertical hooks if you're worried about, you know, hitches and things like that, which would allow you then to go ahead and put this guy into a curl flat. You can kind of see very, very quickly how this is a very, very adjustable defense. So what we're going to do is obviously we've got our auto flip on and our base align settings set. So we look like this pre-snap. We're going to go ahead and spread our defensive line and pinch our linebackers, which is going to give you that 3-3-5 wide kind of look with our outside linebackers and our defensive ends. Now with this, we're going to crash our defensive line up, and that's going to give us this 2-gap nose tackle. You want to see a line to both the left and the right on this nose tackle. Then from there, we're going to go ahead and blitz both of our outside linebackers. And with this, I like to go ahead and Mabel out the coverage on the right side. So right here, this would be, you know, your 20 or 25 or 30-yard blue. This could be your 0 or 5-yard purple. And then we're going to QB contain and put our guy in zone. And this is going to set this up to look exactly like the Mike Blitz 3 meta, where if they block their running back, it ends up confusing him, and that guy comes in around, loops, and gets to him for a sack. So very, very easy to set this up, just like the nickel 3-3-5 wide. Again, we're on auto flip on and base align. So when we break the huddle, this is what the defense looks like. We spread our defensive line, crash them up twice, pinch our linebackers. Then I'll global blitz left and right, QB contain, and then it's all coverage from there. And you see that we're basically set up. It doesn't take that long to set up. It sounds like a lot, but it's really, really not. And then you just stand right here and hold left trigger. The running back will let the outside linebacker loop around him, and he's in for a sack. So they cannot pick this up with the running back. Very, very similar to the nickel 3-3-5 wide. Now what we're going to end up doing with this is we are going to start to attack how the tight end works on this. So again, with this, we are in the base aligned auto flip. We spread our defensive line. We crash them up twice, pinch our linebackers, global blitz left and right, and then it's all coverage from there. When we go to contain on this, and again, your user must be in a zone assignment to get this contain to put themselves on that left side, because if they're in that blitz assignment, it overrides and makes the wrong guy a container. So I like to have this guy in a zone. So now let's talk about how a lot of players like to counter the nickel 3-3-5 wide. As you guys know, the tight end delay fade is a very, very heavily used meta against the nickel 3-3-5 wide, because it's the most consistent way to pick up this particular concept. So when we go to set up this blitz, obviously this can be a little bit problematic, because what ends up happening is that contain on the right with TJ Watt is a very, very simple delay route to the tight end. And then some players will even slap a double team on him, which frees the rollout. And right there, actually, he did a pretty good job of containing it, but that's not always going to be the case. So a little bit of an added bonus right there that it, you know, didn't work very, very well right there just with a regular contain. We didn't really get the double team that they were looking for on this concept. But again, the more that you actually run this, you're going to find that players will consistently be able to, you know, get outside on the contain on that side. So, you know, again, if that tight end is in a delay fade, and again, I'm trying to work on 2 controllers here. Let's get this guy set up correctly. There we go. So when this happens, right, and they go to slap that double team on TJ Watt, more often than not, it won't actually work. So again, we snap this ball, double team on him, roll out, and then you're just going to chuck this this corner for about 30 yards. And that's why we have the blue zone set to 30. Obviously, practice mode doesn't have zone drops right now. That is where the Clamp Double Go becomes a much, much better defense, is that we have this alternate setup for the tight end delay fade. So again, we're on auto flip on, base align. We're going to pinch our linebackers. We're going to spread our defensive line. And then right here, we are actually going to still set up our Mabel coverage, but this time we're going to put our outside linebacker into a purple zone, and we are going to QB contain. And if you'll notice here, what this does is it puts both of our blitzing inside linebackers into contains around the outside. This is why the video that VA Dimes did the other day kind of jostled my memory on this defense that I ran several years ago. Because what ends up happening with this is that if you face the tight end delay fade, and if you are the defensive controller and you actually pass commit on this, this will make it so that contain man really gets outside, and it's hard to, you see how we don't block him. And obviously Lamar Jackson's 96 speed, he's like one of the fastest players in regs, so I'm showing it with him. But obviously when you guys are playing with, you know, Cam Newton or Vince Young, and you've got, you know, a linebacker here that's going to be pretty close, you know, 85, 86 speed, you know, not giving up close to, you know, 7 or 8 speed like Devin Bush is here against Lamar. You know, when it's a more comparable matchup, this guy doesn't get double teamed. He won't end up getting blocked. And this is a free chase to the outside against this rollout meta. And that's really, really nice to have, because you're going to be able to force the quarterback to make some earlier throws, get some pressure and accurates on the run, unless they have gutsy scrambler. This is a great way to counteract this, even if Lamar is looking really, really fast right here in this example. Let me go ahead and take Lamar out of the game here just to kind of show you. So I'm going to sub in Trace McSorley, who doesn't have the escape artist and is only 86 speed, so pretty comparable. Let me respot the ball here. And we're going to set up that same defense again. So you set up your Mabel coverage. You got your zone drops on the right, this QB contain. Again, very important that you pass commit on this because you want to make sure that that guy is actually not running into the lineman. Even if they go to that delay fade, you should see that he's out there waiting to go, sheds instantly. Now, the only thing you have to worry about is that tight end delay fade. They can't just pick up that guy and release him as they roll out. Now your user has more freedom, and you're in a much, much better spot to be able to defend that rollout meta. And the cool thing is you can do it to the left or the right. You see how both inside linebackers do this. I was on my defensive lineman right there, but obviously you would be using in the middle of the field, ready for that rollout delay fade. And obviously right here, you know, your zone drop, you're going to have that set to a depth to cover the corner, which will make this a lot tougher. And they're going to have to throw those delay fades into your user on this. Now, the last thing that I want to touch on is the play action rollout out of the launch tight end. So if we get this gun PA boot over and we are running the same defense against this. So again, clamp double go, this would be on auto flip and also base aligned. So you're going to get this too high look every single time. You want to go ahead and spread your line, pinch your linebackers. You want to still QB contain. You can still set up your zone, you know, your zone drops. Again, your hard flats will be at like 30 yards, you know, whatever you want to do here. You know, with this particular concept, again, you're going to pass commit. If they have that delay fade out there, you know, when they go to do this, that guy should be shedding right away. And you saw right there that Wormley actually shed right away on that. Go ahead and set this up again here. I'm not gonna worry about Mabel since we don't have zone drops here. But again, pass commit, always important on this. Don't forget to pass commit, so important. And you run this, you see how he flies out to the flat, instant disengage, and then you have to make some pretty, you know, ad lib throw on the run back across your body. So if you guys noticed in this particular video, every single time it didn't work was either because my linebacker stepped into a weird spot when I was shifting my defense, or I forgot to pass commit. So it's important that with this concept, if you're expecting the PA rollout, you always pass commit. If you forget to pass commit, your guy might run into the interior gaps. That's not what you want to do. Pass commit, get him to get outside and do his job as a contain man and prevent him from being sealed by that tight end. Again, you see the difference when you actually do the pass commit, that tight end does not get a block on him. He'll release him right away. And again, you know, you're going to have to, obviously your user is very free on this, but you can always man up the tight end as well. So I'll go ahead and round the video out with that last adjustment here with the tight end delay fade. So again, we're on auto flip, base aligned. We're still going to spread our line, pinch our linebackers, QB contain. You know, if you want to man up the tight ends, you can. Let's say here in this example, I know that he wants to throw the tight end delay fade. I'll put Schobert man coverage on him, pass commit, always pass commit. You can kind of lurk up here if you want to. And again, snap the ball, go to run this. There he is right there in the flat. Now you're in trouble. You got to throw that ball away, right? This obviously is a great concept that you can use to curb the PA rollout. It does rely on pass committing. That will make you a little bit weaker against the run, but just understand that this is a great little setup. Again, you've got the ability to guarantee pressure, very similar to the nickel 3-3-5 wide. And you obviously have a really, really good opportunity to contain the rollout from the exact same looks. And I think that, you know, this is something you guys ought to consider. You know, it gives you the ability to Mabel easily on both sides if you want to. And, you know, honestly, I think it could be a pretty good bunch defense and bunch tight end defense for you if you guys struggle with the mobile quarterback. So if you guys like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, or complaints, drop those below. You guys want more on the coverage side of things. Again, this defense could be so much more complete if you guys go check out my quarters, palms, cover 6, cover 9 game plan on Gridiron and install those coverage rules into this defense. This could get pretty nasty. So I strongly urge you guys to go check it out. Hopefully we'll see you guys on the website. Otherwise, we'll see you guys right back here tomorrow with our next video upload. Until then, this is Zan. Get in the lab and good luck.